Nice. Yeah, knock it out. Come on, Branch. Let's go. Yeah. Up. Come on. Push.
So today, we trained arms. Arm training, high volume, high intensity. I think we're probably in and out 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Not about how much time you spend in the gym, it's about the quality of the time that you spend in the gym. I've seen guys, like you were saying, spend an hour and a half training arms. We did it in 45 minutes. Got a great pump, did everything we needed to do, got out.
Nice. All day. Come on.
That's how I've trained my entire career. I'll go to the gym, go there to train. I ain't there to take selfies. I ain't there to get a date, fuck around, talk shit, bullshit my buddies. I'm never trained. Go in with that mindset, you train, you get it done, you get out. And that's how I've been for just day one in that place.
Yeah, I think that the biggest takeaway from, especially like training with yourself, because I'm a huge advocate of high intensity training, but with a lot of volume. Like I used to train like the typical Dorian style way of training, and it'd be like low repetitions, like longer rest periods. But I just found the inflammation and the joint stress that I was getting from that definitely had its negatives where I wasn't enjoying the training anymore. So I had to change it up. And as soon as I did so as part of like a rehab, if you will, I started getting better development. I was getting better mind-muscle connection, better pumps. I was enjoying the workouts more, so then I slowly transitioned into that type of training. And I just find you'll get better longevity out of it. And like you said, because you're pushing the intensity in there, you're keeping the blood pushed into the muscle. And with that intensity, you ain't got time to be talking to anyone. You ain't got time to be taking selfies or messing about. And I think the major problem that I see today on these devices, people look at Instagram and they see these guys who are a $180, $190, pushing ungodly amounts of weight. And so people look at that and go, yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And it's ego lifting, man. In this day and age, like you see people training towards the weights that like you do or what Ronnie used to do, but they have no rhyme or reason why they should be doing it. And I've always said, it isn't really as important how much you lift as it is like how much you look like you lift. You know what I mean?
Well, it's how you lift it.
And how you lift it.
You can lift 100 pounds, and you can feel it. You can burn. You can train to failure with it. You can lift 500 pounds and not get shit out of it because your mind ain't in it. You ain't really trying to feel the muscle, and the chance for injury is more greater because you ain't really doing it the way you're supposed to do, as opposed to you do lighter weight sometimes and just train more intense. That being said, I've always tried to go as heavy as possible, but within reason.
Making sure you're feeling it as well.
My philosophy, you can sum it up pretty easy. Just lift the most weight I can handle, as many times I can lift it, rest, do it again.
Yeah.
So it's not rocket science. I think sometimes people overthink it. The foreign police drive me nuts. Now I laugh at them because I think I drive them nuts. But it's real simple. When you're lifting weights, you're just trying to get as much blood into the muscle as possible, tear it down, rest, recover, repeat, repeat, repeat. That's all it is. I used to powerlift, with Johnny and everything in my early days. If you're doing a bench press in a competition, you gotta have perfect form. Or squat, deadlift, whatever. Okay, this is bodybuilding. Ain't nobody worried about what your form is on curls when you're on the Mr. Olympia stage. Like, all they care about is how your biceps look, how your legs look, how everything looks as a package. That's what's most important. So, by getting as much blood into the muscle as possible with that high intensity training, tearing it down as much as you humanly can tear it down. Then, you know, proper nutrition, rest, all the things I spoke about, you know, MAT therapy, deep tissue, these things, you recover, go back and do it again.
Up, come on. Yes, go. That motherfucker, that. Come on. Up. Yes. Easy. Good. Come on. Yep. Fuck yeah. Come on. Yes. That, man. Yeah. Right for you. All day low. Good. Good. There you go. Come on. Come on. Yep.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And people can't, and yeah, you're going to have the form police come down on you, but it isn't always the form, it's the way that you feel comfortable within that exercise. Because I know when I train super strict, I feel under strain. I feel like something's going to pop. Like I actually tore my lat when I was training extremely strict. You know, I was pausing, holding it, and look at Dorian's, you know, the way that he trained. Perfect textbook
Tore
form.
muscles in half.
Look how many muscles he tore, you know? You know, it's all comes down to that person and their individualism and how you feel comfortable under that weight at the end of the day. You know?
I've said this before. I think if you train super strict with heavy weight and high intensity, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, there's no fluidity.
Yeah.
So there's no like suspension.
I've seen it time and time again. You know, and Dorian, you know, I think Dorian, he was my mentor guy I looked up to as coming up through the 90s for a number of reasons, but he tore a lot of muscles, you know, not tendons, but actual muscles that, you know, once you tear that, you're kind of fucked. And, you know, because of, he trained so intense, he trained heavy, but his form was, you know, really perfect. That's what happens. You know, and just like you said, I tried to train like that before, and I felt like something's going to rip in half. And so that's why I change it up and train the way I do.
Yeah, like I always say, there's different ways of climbing Mount Everest. You know, you just got to find which one is the best way for you. You know, if you feel comfortable within using a little bit of, you know, controlled cheating, that's what I like to call it, and that's the way you go, man. But, you know, like if I'm putting people through a workout, like, you know, I'm doing a video series right now with 2 clients, I'm training them like that. No way. You know, maybe in the future, if that's what they want to do by themselves, sure. If they're comfortable with it, sure. But, you know, this is what we've done over many years of like experimentation and what works. And as long as you are getting the mind-muscle connection and you are sore and you're breaking down that muscle tissue, it works for you, man. That's what you do.
Come on, Brad. Let's go. Yes. Let's go, number 1. Come on, son. Drive it down. Easy. Yes, left. Come on. Push. Yes. What are you gonna do? Let's go. Come on. Come on. Bang, baby. Reach down inside. What you gonna do? Let's go.
So I'm in my favorite sushi place here in Dallas. I used to live across the street from this place before we moved to where we live now. And, you know, sushi, I've been eating sushi for 20 years. One of my favorite foods to eat, probably second only to home-cooked Italian food. And, you know, it's healthy. You know, what's better than raw fish as far as, you know, quality protein, you know, rice. I think I almost had a sushi addiction at one point. I would come in here 4 or 5 days a week, spend $100, $150 every time I came, and just eat an absurd amount of food. But, you know, that's when I was bodybuilding and competing, and, you know, the more the better, right? So you're trying to grow, trying to put on weight. So the only way you do that is lift hard and eat, and repeat. So that's what I did for a long time. And so sushi is one of those foods you can eat a ton of it. It's good for you. It's healthy and helps you recover.
And it's light, isn't it? You know, you eat it, don't feel like you got to go outside and bask in the sun to digest it.
I would come here and eat 100 pieces of sushi. Hour later, I was hungry again.
You got this. Yes. Come on, Branch. Let's go. Push. Yes. Again. Come on. Get started, but let's fucking go. Push. Down. Yes. On the fucking floor. Yes. Good set. 8, 2. Yep. Let's go. Come on. Hey. Hold it low. Come on. Come on, Kris. Fight. One more.
The most important thing you do as a pro bodybuilder is nutrition.
Yeah.
So you can justify a crazy food bill, maybe not that crazy, but you know, I got to where I would write it off my taxes because, you know, you figure, okay, the $2,500 calorie days of recommended daily allowance, anything over that in excess is because of what I do, you know, so we wrote it off of taxes.
Yeah.
Anything over that amount, so.
Yeah, when I had this conversation with Cutler like 2 weeks ago, he was telling me that, you know, of all the treatments that he had, in, you know, the fascia stretching, the massage, the rehab sort of work that he had, he said, I was spending $800 a month. He said, like, no one else was doing it, but I was doing it because I realized, man, this is an investment that I'm making here. So he justified it.
I did the same thing. Every week, I had deep tissue massage at least once, sometimes twice if I needed it. I had MAT, muscle activation therapy, and I had chiropractor. I had those 3 appointments every week, sometimes more if I needed, for 10 years. And because I realized recovery, especially, you know, the last 10 years of my career, was the most important thing.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't recover, it doesn't matter how hard you train, doesn't matter how much you ate. If you don't recover, you don't make progress. And I did that every week for 10 years. And yeah, so it was expensive, but that was a necessity. It's like a race car driver. He's got to put new tires on his car every time he races.
Yeah. Push. Nice. Come on!